Game on, ladies! I was about to say the grand final, and it is not the grand final, but it might as well be. We have Washed Up against the Fanclub. Washed Up currently the number one team in the standings. The Fanclub with the same amount of points in the second position, because their map score is a little bit worse than Washed Up's, but this is going to be an interesting series. There is a little bit of a tweak to all of this, though, because currently the Fanclub is playing with a sub-player. Copenhagen is not here, and instead Rag is subbing in. It seems like the problem was that there was some miscommunication, and Copenhagen is not going to come back home for another 2 hours at least. So instead, we have Rag playing for them now. Lauber commented the entire thing with this. This is going to make the match closer. Now we're not going to 3-0 them that easily. So the confidence is definitely there for the Fanclub. If it is justified, that's a different question. Now in the new patch, of course, the question is also going to be, where are those priorities for the heroes? We saw some very early Reyna picks for Washed Up in particular in the recent past, but Deathwing has been consistently banned regardless of the nerfs that he received. So with this, we're now jumping into our first game of the best of 5, and Infernal Shrine starts off the ban on ETC, a ban on Kerrigan, so Nick is not going to be able to hop around like a bunny throughout all of this, and off we go. Who bans Deathwing? Does anybody ban Deathwing? Again, he still has been consistently banned out. Even after all the nerfs, everybody just said like, nope. And now with Leo getting banned very, very quickly in the early rotation, that also means that if Deathwing doesn't get banned here at the top lane, we don't have any drains against him. And there we go. Deathwing gets banned out. And what is Washed Up starting things off with? They played a lot of Reyna first, and there it is again. Jimmy gets picked immediately. That was not only a theme that they used on Battlefield of Eternity, where they spec'd into Exterminator, which seems like it's actually useful now. But of course, Aids in the Hole got also incredibly buffed by Blizzard in the latest patch. It was an interesting change, to be honest. So now you pretty much self-proc your extra 15% damage. If you get a little bit of attack speed, then it's even more consistent. Now we have Hanzo and Malfurion taken on the other side. So let's see how the Fanclub is going to spin this one out. But when it comes to heroes, I would still say that for the side lane, especially something like Blaze would make a lot of sense here. On the front line, there is still Johanna to be considered with all the AoE that she brings here. Hazu has theoretically the chance to go into Sergeant Hammer, now that Hammer hasn't been banned out, but they already have with Jimmy an auto attacker, so traditionally that means that you're moving away from that a bit and you go into another mage. Gul'dan would be an option for Hazu, so is Jaina. Blaze gets already picked, as assumed, and with Banana and Ana, we still have a very good chance for Nano boosted Jaina here. Unless, of course, she gets banned either out or picked by the Fanclub. Those are the two options for them now. But as I said, Hazu is also really solid on Gul'dan, has played the hero in the past a lot, and a good Horrify can just ruin your day. Tyrael gets banned though. The layer defenses of a bunker plus a sanctification are therefore not available to Washed Up. Won't be able to rely on that. And let's go. What are they banning out? I mean, they could still try and ban a few heroes out against either Lauber or Tai. I was for a second thinking also about if they might be headed into something along the lines of Zeratul, but I honestly think that on this... there's the ban. So much for that. There's always a chance that you see Tai picking up Zeratul. Dino, of course, is in the same spot. One of the reasons why Zeratul gets pretty much banned against their team all the time. But in this case, they didn't want to risk anything here. And Tai could try and home in on Ana or Jimmy with all of that. Now, there is plays against this, but still... Tai Zeratul can be pretty brutal, so they don't want to give them an opening here. But okay, with the next two picks coming in for the Fanclub, we have Diablo, so again the stuns around the Immortal, and Ragnaros, alrighty! Little baby Rag comes in, which means that we have, in theory now, also Sulfuros combos after stuns. So honestly, if you think about it, you could actually now head into Hanzo Arrow, Diablo Apocalypse, and then Sulfuros. Now, Trixler would, of course, come in and say, like, oh my god, think about the possibilities. You just Lava Wave, Hanzo Arrow, Diablo Apocalypse, and the Lava Wave hits everything and kills it. Which doesn't really happen on this level, but yeah, it would be the meme dream for a quick match, I suppose. There's Jaina for Hazu. Now that Jaina hasn't been banned out or taken away, he doesn't have to jump onto Gul'dan, but gets actually the Jaina value. And what else? Masquerade on Garrosh, so flip into a stun. And And let's get a quick hit in. One of the advantages of having Ragnaros, of course, is also that you at least have an easy defense against Punishers when your opponent wins them, because you can just use the Molten Core to defend a bit easier against them. So if you want to play it into the late game, that's one of the things that you can do. It's actually a reason why in the past, in HCC times even, we have sometimes seen a bit of a cheesy strategy with Ragnaros plus Nazebo on this map to get Nazebo into the late game. Medivh as the last pick, and off we go. Game number 1, washed up against the Fanclub. Game number 1, washed up against the Fanclub in Division S. And to the left, we have the Fanclub. Actually, we're washed up with Dequaza on Blaze, Hazops on Jaina, Banana on Ana, Nick on Reyna, and Masquerade on Garrosh. To the right side of the map, the Fanclub with Henning on Malfurion, Tai on Ragnaros. That's honestly really interesting. To see Tai on Ragnaros is just a bit weird, but I'm kind of hyped for it. We have Lauber on Diablo, of course, Rag on Hanzo. That's a lost opportunity, by the way. The sub-player here literally named Rag, so why does he not play Ragnaros? That just would be too perfect. And Svamgrota is playing Medivh. So the team is confident, sub or no sub. And we'll find out if that confidence is justified or not. But Ragnaros, as I said previously, can also delay pushes on the opponent's side, especially with the Punisher. Has a lot of wave clear there too, and it should make for a very interesting game, but there's already Medivh with a safe attempt, and oh my god, Henning! He nearly gets murdered here, and Svamgrota is just immediately ready. Masquerade is on the run, is able to escape, but he took a bit of a beating during that fight, of course, too. But what a save already from Medivh. Honestly, Medivh is just like that one hero that is always acting like a little bit of an ass. You work hard to get a kill, and then Medivh comes in and is like, nope, not gonna happen. Every single time. It's just a quick portal, it's a quick shield, and Medivh is just wrecking all the attempts. So he's one of those no fun allowed heroes. Talking about no fun allowed, apparently there's no Ragnaros allowed here either. At least it seems like Tai is going to bite the dust there. Raggy is still running around, but there's literally nobody coming to help him. And Dequaza gets the kill, and therefore the first blood. Talking about first blood, we might see second blood over here. There's a quick approach to Jaina. They lock her down, and Nick is in trouble too, and bam, the double kill. 2 heroes down. Banana H is also taking a slight beating from Hanzo as he jumps in. And the Fanclub is all of a sudden ahead in kills. Nice. Well done. And they stole the camp away. They didn't actually go for their own camp. Instead, they invaded the opponent because 2 heroes committed to the Ragnaros gank at the top lane. And therefore, they knew that they had a numeric advantage over their opponent and used that mercilessly. Now, an early level 4 for them, one of the rewards. Medivh is obviously just sniffing out what's happening. Just flying around. And does what he does best. Cheating. It's a legal map hack that hero provides to the team. Yeah, Indomitable. And there's the flip. Lauber for just a moment in a bit of trouble. But guess what? It's portal time, baby. Super annoying. And with Medivh, obviously, I talked earlier in the draft about the possibility of having just a few setups in the heroic abilities here. For example, the Hanzo arrow into a Diablo Apocalypse. Diablo on this map, by the way, can still go for the Lightning Breath. It's a fantastic ult to take if you're trying to secure yourself the Punisher on the Shrine in a good position. But now that Medivh is in, we could also see a ley line into Apocalypse as a potential follow-up. So there's actually a lot of these lockdowns that we have. Talents, by the way, the Portal Mastery on level 1 and then the Mage Armor right away. Yeah, so definitely gonna have some very aggressive positions here from the team as now the Shrine is activating. And we're fighting for Punisher number 1. And everybody's joining in on the fun with no Shaman Camp taken, by the way. Neither one of the teams has committed to their Shaman Camp. In the meantime, the fight is just raging on. Level 7 talents aren't really a thing just yet. But of course, with half a level missing, the Fanclub has a realistic chance of locking that talent in during that first objective. And that would give them a massive lead over the opponent. It's a huge power spike this early in the game. So if they can let that in, that would be the dream. Nice interrupt as Medivh gets attacked for just a moment, but the portal is now down too, and Diablo's a little bit far out. Needs some help. Gets shielded, gets stunned, and goes down. Not even Baby Rag can prevent that from happening. but they're now looking to secure the objective for themselves. And that might still be a thing, since we have already 30 stacks against 19. Hanzo jumping out of the stun as the jet propulsion tries to connect with him. That was nicely done. Dibbles is back to business, but it's going to be a close one. And Washed Up is actually now in a position where they might just pick this one. It was really unfortunate. The timing was a little bit sad for the fan club, because if Medivh didn't use the portal there, he could have portaled Diablo out quite easily. At least they get the kill against Garrosh. And if they can move through the gate, yeah, not quite. Unfortunate for them. Punisher jump gets baited in front of the wall. You always want to avoid that, but they just picked up the kill and then they couldn't move through the wall quickly enough, so it's at least understandable how that happened. In terms of talents, we have, of course, on level 1, Ace in the Hole, the newly buffed talent from Blizzard. Absolutely incredible right now. I mean, it was the go-to talent already before. Now that has even been enhanced. Rag in trouble again for just a moment. Dibbles comes in, trying to help out here too. Talking about quest talents, by the way, 93 stacks now on the souls for Diablo on his baseline, so soon he's going to have the extra revive. We have 23 for Medivh. Needs a little bit work. A bit more work until he has the quest completed and then can maybe play a bit more aggressive, but for the time being, it's fine. So now 3 kills against 2, but there is still a pretty significant experience advantage for the fan club. It's nothing to write home about yet, but it's already a good sign as they're heading into this. Even with them losing out on the Punisher, they are able to do a lot here and are still ahead in kills. And honestly, if not for that kill against Diablo, they would have likely also secured Punisher number 1. So that was a good moment for them. Again, it was a bit weird. Medivh is under pressure, Diablo tries to save him, Medivh saves himself by using the portal, and because Diablo tried to create some space for him and protect his stacks on the baseline, Medivh doesn't have the portal cooldown ready to help Diablo out. It's a bit of miscommunication maybe, but not really ending anything here yet. And as we see the fight breaking out over the bottom camp once more, everybody rotates in to participate. 5 versus 5 in this first game. 2 against 3 already, and off we go. Yeah, Hazu needs to be careful. He's all the way up at the front. Masquerade can, of course, throw him back here. But Masquerade himself is in trouble for just a second. Indomitable, of course, saving him. Level 4 still absolutely crucial for Garrosh in these situations, especially going up against a hero like Malfurion. More than that, of course, but those roots in particular are always nasty, or can be. Quasar, they nearly get the kill. But he moves back. And there we have the portal again. Oh, careful, Medivh. Yeah, Sulfuras is in as expected on the level 10. And we have Apocalypse, Leyline, and Hanzo's arrows. So huge potential for Wombos during the upcoming fights. Yeah, there's a flip, could push him back now. There's already the arrow, no Apocalypse though, and the kill against Garrosh instead. Nicely done, quick focus from the fan club. That's the kill, Sulfuras hits hard, and down goes Jaina. 5 kills against 2, the fan club, ladies and gentlemen. Looking strong here. Sub player or no sub player, doesn't matter. They get the kills, and now they can go for their own camp, as does, by the way, Washed Up. Both of the teams going for the Shamans. Diablo still at the bottom of the map for a bit longer. Gets a bit more wave clear in, and therefore also experience. There won't be a talent advantage in the next fight, but still, it matters. Now the next fight, and this is actually gonna be a bit more spicy, because now with heroic abilities there's a lot more on the line. Ragnaros doesn't have Sulfuras, there's no arrow either, they have to wait for those, but here comes the attack against Ty. He gets taunted and he's dead. Baby Rag eliminated, and Lauber also in a bit of trouble. This time Medivh couldn't help out. He's sitting at 30 stacks down the baseline, but he at least can protect Diablo long enough. And that in and of itself is, of course, already quite important. 3 kills against 5, but Washed Up gets the kill when it matters again. They're able to take it just as the objective has been fought over, and with an Arcane Punisher on the line, they are looking incredibly strong now. 10 stacks ahead already. Nick is still moving in to just zone out the opponent. As long as he has the penetrating round, he should also be able to save himself if need be. But there's, of course, some protection too. Masquerade is waiting in the wings the entire time to either stun an opponent out or throw him back. Ragnaros is back to business, and they have 25 stacks to 0, but the red team hasn't given up on this one yet. No, the fan club is sitting here and saying, okay, let's go. Let's try and set this up again. Let's try the combo. We have most of the ults ready, Here's the flip. Here's the arrow. Apoc was stunned out. Couldn't go for it. No combo. And instead another portal as everybody tries to move away. Tai is interrupted as he channels the portal the first time. But is able to move out. And here comes the Molten Core again. 29-7. It's actually interesting timing, because if they now lose out on the Punisher, it means they don't have Molten Core for the defense against the Punisher. So they are a little bit in an awkward spot there. I honestly don't like that Molten Core at all. Arcane Punisher is claimed, and now they can't use it for the defense, which is going to make it more realistic for Washed Up to get damage in. I'm not saying that that Molten Core defense against the Punisher without that bad boy doing any damage whatsoever, obviously not. But it would have been much easier for them to get a defense done, and now they're going to lose this fort for sure. Everybody is already rushing away. Tai in the wings, waiting for a Sulfura setup potentially. Shows himself here. There's no stun though. Hans's arrows on cooldown for another 10 seconds. We still have that Apocalypse though. So if they time something, that could work. There's also a ley line to be considered, which Swamquatta could YOLO out at any moment. But with the fort already down, they're just falling back. They still have the lead in experience and therefore a lead in talents. Punisher gets baited over. That's going to be an easy defense down here to keep, but the fort, of course, is gone. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. So far, especially those objective fights haven't really gone the way of the fan club. Now they're also losing out on this one. I like these portals though. I mean, Swamquatta on Medivh is honestly doing a fantastic job, and he has now also his quest completed, which allows him to be a little bit more aggressive. Once that you have your setup secured and you can't lose those stacks anymore, that it makes you more of a threat first of all, of course, but at the same time you can now also make more aggressive plays and maybe don't have to yourself the entire time. Alright, still waiting for the first Apocalypse. There it is. Stun into stun into stun. And goodbye, Garrosh. But Medivh has been killed as well. Lauber is going to die. So does Jaina, though. So we have a 2-for-2 trade. Ragnaros is also isolated, locked into the corner and taken apart. Henning is on the run, dodges out on the oil spill, and is actually able to save himself here. Rag on Hanzo is still trying to get damage in against Banana H, but this time the geometry wasn't apparently all that simple, so he can't get the connect and the support walks away. 6 kills against 7. Yeah, nice and aggressive game that we have to kick this series off. There's still the camp in the middle that has done some damage here. When it comes to the damage output, we have Hanzo on 43,000. Now Jimmy is trying to contest that number. He's sitting at 41,000 himself. That's not bad by any means. It's actually a bit surprising to me that we don't have more damage from Medivh already. He's sitting at 13k, less than Ragnaros here. Just barely more than Diablo. On the blue team side, it's Jaina with 24,000 that is sitting in second place. But yeah, all about the camps, all about the portals, the quick rotations, trying to move around here. And despite the fact that they lost both objectives, we have still nearly a level lead for the fan club when it comes to experience. So they're doing just an incredible job here. I mean, you can take a look at the minion experience in particular, 26,000 against 21,000. So it's all about soaking the lanes and soaking those waves that come in, and that leads now to that level advantage, which grants them also a talent lead. So if they can force a fight around that, it would be great. And they tried it. They set the portal up to drop onto Reyna, but now instead the wall stun. And Masquerade is in so much trouble. Indomitable is helping him out here. And of course, Anna sitting in the wings and just firing one healing dart after another. But that was a huge problem. If you get attacked like this by Diablo and he gets the reset, thanks to his 16 with the domination, that's just fantastic. So that double stun nearly dropped the front line. Objective gets announced, but thanks to Garrosh not dying, actually surviving this, they're now in a spot where they can make it work. By the way, Banana H is riding the proper snowflake, the blue one. As I said in the previous series, never ride the golden snowflake. Have you ever seen golden snow? Why is that snow golden? Exactly. If you want to ride on a peat-on piece of ice, then hey, by all means, go for the golden variation. But a true believer goes for the blue snowflake, if at all. So now with 16 versus 16 talents, and us also looking at the Numbing Blast, we have the next objective about to be fought over, and this is the moment where the fan club has to finally show what they're made of. If they lose out on the third objective too, I'm pretty sure that Washed Up will eventually walk away with this game. They're still behind in experience, but on structures, they're starting to take the lead. And already a lead for Washed Up also on the minion stacks. The arrow goes far and wide, straight up to an A. And with Garrosh down, there's at least an advantage in terms of... Malfurion goes through the portal, looks for people to heal, doesn't find anything. It's like, okay. But Dibbles is back to business, and the APOC. The combo might not have hit on Jaina as he intended to, but he's at least able to lock Blaze into the corner, and that allows him to go in for the second kill. And now the Fanclub, again, a level ahead and in a great position to pick up that Punisher. There are only 4 stacks missing for Washed Up, but they couldn't get Jaina close enough to drop another Blizzard for the kill. And all of a sudden, we're looking at momentum for the red team. There's still a big push coming through the top thanks to that Shaman, but Hazorps is already here dealing with it. The bottom fort is definitely going to be taken down. So that's going to happen. And yeah, they're already waiting for someone to come in and defend. They're like, you really don't want to defend this? Nobody really? I mean, come on, guys. Not even a little bit. Can someone just please poke the head out? Just a little bit, just so that we can get the kill. But yeah, not happening. Portals are being set up. Will allow them to get away. The problem is that Ragnaros is completely isolated. If they can take the fort, that's maybe a different story. He actually escapes through the portal after all, and the arrow is missing again. Honestly, I think if you would have tried to miss that arrow, you couldn't have done a better job. It's a little bit unfortunate for Rag because he plays so far a pretty mean Hanzo, but let's just face it for a second. He just really circled that arrow through every... I mean, it was the tiniest of gaps that we saw there. Doesn't matter, they saved Ragnaros anyways. I don't think they couldn't have gotten the kill there either. They got 2 forts now out of the first objective that they won, and have increased the lead and experience even more. But I gotta admit that the last 2 arrows were kind of funny. So, just to make sure that we understand that the guy is still crushing it here. 0 deaths on him, 55,000 damage, has contributed a lot here already, so he's doing a great job. Especially considering that he just got subbed in 5 minutes before this match started. Because up to the last moment, the Fanclub obviously didn't realize that there was some miscommunication on their end, which means that one of their players is missing. But still, here's the setup again. Jaina getting some value out of a level 16 as she locks Diablo down. There's a quick flip, protected, and he gets pushed out by the penetrating round. Lauber, shielded, protected. And he actually dies after all on the other side of the portal. Now that's just bad luck right there. I honestly believed that he would die 3-4 times before it finally happened, but when he made it through the portal, I'm like, okay, apparently he gets away after all. And yeah, not the case. Still the Raider on Jimmy's side and a bit more damage that was connected. So nicely done. Nearly level 20 though for the Fanclub. Game number 1, ladies. Okay, camp is actually claimed. Masquerade might be in trouble, and yeah, he's dead, isn't he? He's down, and now the damage is just raining onto Washed Up. He try and save Hazu here. Dequaza's in trouble and uses the bunker once, twice. There's the lead 20, and the portal allows Lauber to go in deep again, and there's another kill. Has to Hellgate it out, but with 2 kills now in their favor, they are massively ahead. 11 kills against 7, and they're also an entire level ahead. Sub-player, no sub-player, doesn't matter. They're doing great. Portal again. Dibbles still low. But Medivh is just crushing this. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Medivh banned out in more games throughout the series, because right now Svamgrotta is helping the team to murder them. And Lauber is just charging everything that's in his sight. Lauber's charging in to everything that doesn't move. Actually, that doesn't move quickly enough, I was about to say, and then I was like, wait a second, that tower didn't move. So yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, half a level missing for level 20 on Washed Up side. And again, it could still be a setup in which they are able to make a bit of a comeback, but it's getting a little bit rougher for them now. They're losing more structures, they're falling farther behind. They've lost a lot of momentum that they were trying to build up earlier. Damage output, 74,000 for Hansa at this point. Absolutely eclipsing the damage that Reyna is able to push out. 50,000 for Jaina though. Okay. Ragnaros at the same time has finally made his choice. Heroic difficulty for him. So going a bit more for the Molten Core here. Which is going to help him again to... I want to say one of the greatest things is actually if you have a Molten Core flank in a big team fight. Wubi was able to pull one or two of those off during HGC times, and it was just insane how you can destroy a team if you can sneak that in without them realizing it. It's of course always a risky play as well, so it comes at a cost. But here we go. They're trying to set it up against Masquerade again. And the Sulfuras damage. Yeah, trying to follow it up. But actually, that ley line and the Apocalypse were definitely mistimed. So that didn't help them. They didn't get the kill against Masquerade yet either. But the portal is still there to threaten him even more. An attempted portal control by Dequaza as he jet propulsions through the second one. But now the position is there for the red team. Still 20 versus 20, and most of the heroics have been used, but we still have Nano Boost available and the Warlord's Challenge. The poke, on the other hand, is becoming a bit of a problem. And that the red team holds on to the shrine doesn't make the case for Washed Up any easier. So they are, of course, trying to push back onto it to get that advantage negated, but it's going to be tough. And that bot lane is also pushing, with catapults now in, and we're talking about 20-minute game. So with the second catapult now also joining the fun in just a few seconds, it could seriously start to threaten the bot lane wall at least, maybe even the keep itself. Diablo, on the other hand, is in trouble and is not going to make it out, no. And he's down for the duration. He didn't have enough souls for the reset, so that was a super important kill for Washed Up. Molten Core alone is not going to save that, as it seems. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have another Punisher for the blue team after all. Bot lane catapult, one has been taken down, the second one is now continuing to push in. So the lanes are definitely pressuring. Oh, can they get the setup? Ah, the follow-up from Hanzo after the arrow with his 20 was good for a second, but not good enough. And now Malfurion is dead. Hanzo comes in with another connect and nearly takes the kill against Reyna, but can't quite drop it. Oh my god! What the hell? Look at this guy. The Wilhelm Tell of Heroes of the Storm. We finally found him. Sneaks the arrow past 3 heroes to connect it with Jaina and gets the kill there. Nicely done. Finally he gets dropped too, though. Apparently Jimmy is a little bit jealous and takes him down. But damn, that Jaina kill was a great one. If they could have kept him alive a little bit longer, I think he might have been able to do even more here. So now at the bottom, as I said, the entire wall has already fallen and the keep is going to be in trouble soon. I assume that Jaina is going to deal with that once she's back to business, but the keep is going to take damage. That keep is definitely going to take damage, guys. Question is just how much. One catapult is probably not enough to drop the whole thing. But it will eat a lot of damage here. And let's see if the trade is a worthy one. At the top, you of course want to go for keep, and with 2 heroes still dead, there's a good chance they make that happen. Nice portal control attempt. Leyline is out. Apocalypse, not yet, but there's Baby Rag. Back to business. And that's a really nice flip. So he saves the keep for a bit longer, but that thing might still fall after all. Jaina is making her way into the middle of the map. The bottom keep is still suffering damage on the blue team side, but they are now eager to finish the job up at the top and at least get the keep down. Problem is that Lauber is hellgating it out of harm's way, and they nearly got a counter kill, but the keep is definitely gone. Bottom keep has taken damage, middle keep has taken damage too, and they're still fighting at the top. This isn't over. They are still looking for potential fight. What a stun setup! Holy shit! At the same time, they get the kill against Hanzo. Yes, Raiders doing work here. Banana Age survives. Ragnaros not able to kill him. And now with Tai falling, all of a sudden we have 2 heroes down. Malfurion is getting followed. He's likely going to fall. Henning is just on the run the entire time. The Raider is attempting to get him, but that's not happening. Up at the top, a stun against Lauber, and he is saved by Medivh again. Can they go for core, though? That's the big question. 2 heroes are down, and the keeps are taking more and more damage on the blue team side. But if they go for core, who gives a shit? So they are moving in for the kill, and the shields have already fallen. In that attempt, they might just be able to pull it off after all. Svamgrota has the leyline back up, though, so he can prevent it for even a bit longer. There comes the leyline, and he only connects it with 1 hero. They're going for Nick, 58% on the core. If they can hold it longer, they might just be able to come back into this. But it's going to be tough. The Fanclub in trouble. Washed Up looking for the win right here, right now. And the core is down to 45%. 37, 35. Lauber in trouble. Lauber about to go down. Here comes the Ice Black on Hazo. Gets saved. And that is game. What a first map between Washed Up and the Fanclub. Fantastic start into the series as the blue team takes the lead. Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2, everybody. Washed Up winning the first game. I got to admit that I'm a bit surprised that it turned out that way, because during wide stretches of map number 1, it felt like the Fanclub was just a bit ahead. They struggled on some of the objectives, and Washed Up was always able to lock in the kills when they really needed them. But it really seemed that the fan club had the upper hand for a long amount of time, especially with the Medivh play that we saw from Svamgrota. I would say actually the two players that probably impressed the most here were their sub player, especially considering that he had to sub in on the last moment on short notice, and Svamgrota on Medivh. But Washed Up turned it around. And now the ban against Ana. You always want to ban Bananas Ana because Ana and Banana is pretty bananas. And if you've seen anything in the past, then it's if you don't ban Bananas Ana, then Bananas Ana is going bananas in the game and is going to completely banana you. So that is a problem that has been identified by the fan club, and we're back to the ban Ana strategy. So let's see what we're actually going to get in terms of the rest of the bans here. My personal priority is now on Reyna, because we have seen multiple teams now go into Reyna as a first pick on this map and then go Exterminator since the talent was buffed with all the other level 1 talents on Reyna's side. He is now a huge option here. I haven't really seen Reyna banned out yet. But I would not be surprised if the fan club, for example, decided that if they don't want to play Reyna, that they actually ban it out against Washed Up. So that might be a thing. But Deathwing gets banned again. Okay, they ban out Chen, so no top cack plays for this one. And this is now the next important part. Again, Washed Up has picked Jimmy first since the patch. Especially on this map. Now they have second pick. Do they ban Jimmy? No. They ban Li Ming instead. So Tai doesn't get Li Ming. Do we get Jimmy now? Right away. No, Vala. And I can guarantee you that Washed Up is now locking in Reyna. But so we get Vala set up for Tai. Who's going to be an arrow build. Now we should see Jimmy locked in for Washed Up. I would be shocked if they don't go for it. I guess the only strategy that I could see where they don't go for Jimmy is if instead they're playing around Hammer. There's Haza with Chromie. Really? No Jimmy? Okay. Malfurion. Fair enough. Surprises me quite a bit. They have locked in Reyna every time they could, on this map in particular. We had since then, I think they played since the patch once in Division S, they played also in Tournament, and it was just Jimmy all the way. So there's Zarya, there's Garrosh. Ooh, we get the speed bubble on level 4 now in the combo with Garrosh. And Vala is going to capitalize on this, of course, as well. Interesting. Now, there is obviously still a chance for Reyna to be picked up by Washed Up. But if I was the fan club, I would definitely at least consider banning Reyna out. Well, what are they getting rid of? Alarak. Svamgrota is usually the one that plays Alarak for them. But of course, having the sub player now joining in switches the normal pick and ban patterns for them slightly. So far we didn't see a commitment on anything here. Neither the support, which could still be Oriel, despite the fact, of course, that she got also a bit nerfed. You don't have to play Resurrect. Aegis is still a great talent. But of course, also nerfed on the Sacred Sweep, but still. ETC. ETC is still fantastic on the map. Stun into an Immortal Stun is always great. Creating a little bit of space for your backliner is fantastic with it too. So Nick still has the option of going into Reyna if he wants to. Hanzo is up for immortal damage if you want to go for that. So is Greyman. And Nick is the one that is always... I mean, he's always a bit of the wild card for them, right? Or most of the time. Now that they started to prioritize Reyna on this map, not so much anymore. But yeah, there's Hanzo instead. So they go for Johanna at the front and they have Hanzo. First time that I see them ignore Jimmy after the patch here. Okay. Makes it interesting. I kind of like that. So they are shifting it already a bit. And this is actually answering one of the questions that we had previously too, because there was always the question, hey, how much of the game, of the things that they pick, will they actually use against a top team like the fan club? And now we have Zeratul getting played here. Rag on Zeratul. I got to admit, I did not see that pick happening. I expected something completely different, a more traditional offlaner on the top. But now we have Zeratul instead, so that puts a lot of aggression into the game and will make the life of Hanzo, Malfurion and Chromie a lot harder. Arthur's a bit as an answer to all of that, makes it a bit easier to control Zeratul, is of course another hero that Zeratul will have huge trouble of killing, is a massive frontline now as well, and it's more lockdown. just in general. But that's a really interesting setup now for the second map. So Battlefield of Eternity, the fan club is going to try to fight back here and equalize the score in the series. But let's head straight in. Map number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2. Ready to rock and roll. Harswops and Chromie for washed up. They are in the lead now, and they want to extend that lead and make it a 2-0. We have Banana H on Malfurion, and Nick on Hanzo going into the Scattershot build, Quasar on Arthurs, and Masquerade on Johanna right here. Over on the right side of the map, Rag on Zeratul, Henning on Rega, Swamkota on Zarya, Ty of course with the arrow build, currently sitting on Vala. Swamkota, by the way, with Feel the Heat on level 1. Loves that style, especially on this map, and has played it in the past with huge success. And Lauber on Garrosh. Yeah, they were actually known for that particular Garrosh and Zarya style. They are the first ones that started to play it in 2019 on this map with a speed bubble on Zarya to allow Garrosh to just simply run into the opponent's team, get a flip over, and then the stun against any target. So that's going to be something that we can definitely prepare ourselves for. It's really interesting to me, by the way, to see Zeratul in the game played by the fan club and Ty not playing the Zeratul. That's incredibly interesting to me. So yeah, that sub-player coming in definitely shifts their pick patterns a lot. And that of course makes it, at least to an extent, a bit more interesting for Washed Up as well. And more difficult of course for them too, in order to make sure that they get all of this banned out. Normally when you have Vala picked on the side of the fan club, you know that Zeratul is not really an option for them. Because the same player on their end is playing both of those heroes. So this time it's a little bit different. For the time being, we have also on level 1 still the... actually, Zeratul, top side, needs to be a bit careful in this. It's going to be a bit of an awkward lane for him, of course. It's going to be more so important for Zeratul to then shine during the Immortal phase. And really try and get those kills in against the backline heroes, put pressure onto Hanzo, onto Malfurion, Chromie if he gets a chance, especially before 13 when she has timeout. But against Arthur's in the top lane, I mean, he still needs to try and hold the lane, but that's about it. It's not going to be an easy lane for him by any means. And you can see that the hit point pool up here, he is definitely struggling slightly. Has the rotation down to the bottom now to get the Khazra camp. Arthur's is even rotating in a bit. Arthur's is rotating into the middle just because he assumes there's going to be a big fight. Once that he realizes that that fight is very likely not going to happen, he's going to move back towards the top again. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So it's always a nice thing to do. So what pretty much Quasar did is he pushed one lane out, or one wave out, and then because he knew he has a lot of time, he moved down to the bottom in an attempt to see if he's needed in a 4 versus 4 fight and can maybe secure a kill for his team. So now instead, the camp is taken because Rhaegar rotated up. Quasar has to soak the experience and the minions over there. So it's a camp for a camp between the two teams. He alone can't make that play anyways. So there's nothing that he can do in this situation. So both teams with a very good move here. This is one of those things where there's a lot of good plays being made, but nothing really happens except for a camp trade. But if there was a bot fight between a 4 versus 4, that Arthur's rotation, him pushing the lane out aggressively and then starting to rotate into the middle of the lane before Zeratul does the same, would have led to a massive advantage for them in the fight. And then also, of course, the important rotation from Rhaegar towards the top lane to allow them to get one camp for themselves, which keeps them on even experience with the opponent and puts some pressure onto the lane too. So really nice setup for both of the teams right now. And also very clean rotations. Arrow build for Vala continues, and the kill against Hanzo. Hanzo is down, and Johanna is in trouble too. Gets healed, but Masquerade is not going to stand a chance here. That's a kill right here. Double kill from the fan club as they go in and they drop them. Yeah, drop them like candies, baby. Right there. Like 50s in the club. So now with that, we have the halftime show very easily in the hands of the red team. Zeratul has started to take down the bot lane, in particular, of course, that Shaman. So that's not going to be a threat anytime soon. But now with the Immortal position shifting, it's clear what the blue team has to do. They need to start to go on the defense, and that's exactly what we see happen. Hanzo is the only one to rotate over, since Nick is going to try to Hanzo the opponent's Immortal, but they are still poking away at the blue teams and trying to reduce those hit points as quickly as possible. And still Vala stacking her level 4 with additional arrows that she throws out. Once level 7 is in, that double arrow is going to do a lot of work for them. But yeah, Tai is moving in. Dodges barely out on the Immortal Stun, by the way. Gets still locked down there for just a second. And that's a kill right here. Nicely done. Yeah, those time traps and the chronic conditions here really doing work now for the blue team. That was a great kill. That was the important kill, actually. It's the main damage dealer against the Immortals, so now they have some time to try and mitigate the situation. Zarya is eating, of course, quite a bit of damage here voluntarily because of the shield, but she bargained for a bit too much. As another setup, the Howling Blast doesn't connect quite the way that they want to, but after we see Zarya taken down, Rhaegar also dies, so this is getting a lot closer here all of a sudden. Tai comes in, arrow, boom, Dequaza zoning, Rack joins the fun for a few more attacks, has to jump out and might still fall. They're trying to get a kill in. Moonfire to the ass, but Zeratul is still fine, and Lauber is now moving in and seals the deal. Or does he? He doesn't! It's actually a win for Washed Up! The Immortal got Hanzo'd after all. They got the level 7 just a moment too late. If that level 7 would have been available like 1 or 2 more seconds ago, then Vala could have easily gone for a quick evolve, the second arrow, and connected it. So, unbelievable. I mean, there is no shield to speak of. It was 150 hit points, I think. So that Immortal is going to fall within seconds. They have no chance of getting the actual fort destroyed. Vala alone is going to take care of that, but holy hell. It's unbelievable that they actually won the objective. That was insane. If they would have known from the get-go how close this would be, I'm pretty sure one of the heroes would have just simply YOLO'd in for it and accepted a kill. Yeah, but Ford loses few hit points. There's the kill against Hanzo, though. Guys, this is a kill every game now. 6 kills already, and 1 kill per minute. And they're trying to follow it up on Chromie, and Hanzo is dead. Chromie down, and they nearly get another one in against Banana Age. So yeah, the aggression is definitely there in this game. There's no doubting it. And at the bottom of the map, Zeratul going up against Arthur's. It's a cool series, seriously. It's a really good one. I mean, it's a series that we expected. I have to admit that I was a bit worried after we heard that one of the regular players for the fan club isn't here and they have to play with a sub. But Rack is doing a fantastic job here. Did in the first game and is now just continuing on that level. And it allows them to really force Washed Up to go all out here and bring their A-game. 32 stacks for Chromie on level 1. We're also seeing on level 7, no Icebound Fortitude. Nope, there's the Immortal Coil for him. A little bit more sustainability. Also on level 7, the Explosive Barrier. Seeker in the Dark after the Psionic Strength. So the exact same build from Rack that we see from Tai usually on the hero. Might of the Nerazim is going to come in on the next level. Damage output, by the way. Zarya sitting at 10,000, 14k for Vala. Hanzo on 16,000 though. And Chromie also walking away with really good numbers here. Talking about walking. Masquerade is walking right into the opponent's team, but he still had at least his trade up. And that saved him. There's always one of those moments where you have to make sure that you don't activate it too early, or Garrosh is still just going to walk past you. It's going to try and body block you a little bit and then throw you after all. But in this case, nice and patient play from Masquerade, so that was well done. Level 10 abilities come in for both teams at exactly the same moment of time, which is worth a lot right now. Vala's of course connecting the arrows as we speak. Quick blind in an attempt to slow it down, but this is just an exchange in hit points, and pretty much both of them with the same amount of HP. Tiny advantage for the red team. Nothing to speak of. But it's all about the defense now. And they're starting to go for it. And keep in mind, Vala is actually not even stacked yet. There's the Hanzo's arrow. Good save on Vala though. Tai is still in play. Once that Vala is stacked, these particular moves onto the objective are going to be just so much more impactful and dangerous. Washed Up is going to lose that quickly. Hanzo is of course fantastic when it comes to immortal pressure as well, but the setup of the red team is insane. It's still a big fight over here though, and Hanzo is currently missing. There's again the ult on Chromie. They're making the play with Malfurion, getting the Tranquility through. Haha, Zeratul gets out, and Dequaza in trouble. The Ancestral keeping Garrosh in play for a bit longer. He might still fall though. Lauber gets body blocked by his teammate for a second, but walks away with 48 points. And Zeratul makes the play and gets the kill. Holy shit. Rag with a godlike play right there. And they follow up with a kill against Hanzo. Oh my god. Vala on the run. She wants more. And she is going to get Arthur's, isn't she? Yep, he's down. Chromie is dead too. Holy shit. What a setup. They win the Immortal and they take kill after kill after kill. They nearly got the one against Masquerade too. And Rag is absolutely destroying, clutching it here. Damn. I mean, everything here was just absolutely insane. The escape of Garrosh in the first place, then the turnaround, the insane amount of aggression that we saw from Zeratul that led to the first kill, and then the follow-up from the rest of the team while they were still pressured and on low HP. Now with 14 stacks, Vala's of course going to increase her damage output by quite a lot. We have a 5 versus 5 at the bottom of the map, and with 8 kills against 3, here comes the move, which could lead to level 13 and an advantage. Arthas is still sitting in the back here. Yeah, they sniffed him out. They know exactly where he is, and they're starting to make the play. Army is already used. Arrow came through, didn't really do enough. Zeratul is in trouble, and Zeratul is likely dead. Zeratul goes down, but it comes at a cost. They lose Arthas in the process, and now the fort is still falling. 4 down, 1-for-1 kill in trades, and Zarya and the 4-man are still alive. And that is a strong 4-man to go up against. Strafe after the double arrow, and the kill against Hanzo. Hanzo down, level 13 in their hands, 6 kills ahead. Holy shit. What a game. This whole thing escalated quickly. 31,000 damage now for Vala, 28,000 for Hanzo. And Lauber is already going for a flank setup. He's like, well, what if we kill another hero? But nobody falls for this. They play it safe, and for a very good reason. So washed up, very disciplined here, not moving farther out. Therefore, no follow-up kill against Malfurion, for example. The camp at the bottom of the map gets taken. But pretty solid setup in this game. I like it a lot. Great series. 2 stacks are missing for Vala, and then she's going to complete her level 4 talent, which is going to increase the immortal pressure, and on top of it also the entire damage that she dishes out. There's 2 camps that are now taken, so both of them are actually controlled by them, which gives them still a very solid experience lead. So it's going to be level 13 talents that we are going to talk about when the next fight starts up, but still, there is level 16 on the horizon, which in the long run could really help them here. Lauber is already moving in, trying to make sure, first of all, that this camp isn't taken. Of course, they have vision on the bottom of the map on 2 heroes. But there's 13 on both sides now. And with that, we get, first of all, the shattered armor, but also nature's swiftness. All that movement speed, baby. Especially against Zeratul. Trying to get away from him is going to be a top priority for Malfurion. It's pretty much the French variation on level 13 that we're going for right now. If you gain the extra movement speed, it means you can run away a little bit faster. 4 against 10 as the Immortal is up again, and Vala is gonna do her thing now. Or at least she should, but everybody is just going for the defense. Hanzo is therefore poking a bit, but it also means that the Shaman camp at the bot lane could already be cleared, and the blue team still has to deal with 2 camps topside, which pretty much means they have to abandon the halftime show, if we're honest about it for just a moment. So, yep, there it goes. Oh, Malf taunted, and the kill. Zeratul comes in, gets the kill. There's the Ancestral to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but it's not the only kill. Vala completes the quest, and then there's also another follow-up against Johanna. 2 heroes down, and that's an easy halftime show for them here. Damn. Incredible, precise engagements currently by the fan club. Of course, all of these moves, or what's benefiting them, is that speed barrier on level 4 for Zarya. Lauber can make so many plays for them and set all these kills up by having the movement speed to move into, well, Malfurion range and flip him over. So nicely done. And this is going to be a beast of an Immortal that is going to move through the bot lane. That thing is going to murder. I mean, that's pretty much 100% shields. Not quite, but yeah, it's out there. So that Immortal is going to move through the bottom of the map. And yeah, with it comes a level 16 talent advantage, which now gives Zeratul in particular the synergy with his level 1 talent. He has Void Slash, and guys, that is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot. And they have even slows now coming in. There's a big boy taunt, and the kill! Zeratul gets it again. Give this guy a medal. Holy shit, he's making a play here. Sub-player my ass. Copenhagen, goodbye. I think we're going to see a swap in players here if this continues. Holy hell. Yep, at this point, Frost Shot is in, Void Slash, and they're just controlling this game from start to finish here. Moving through, taking the wall apart, and aiming for the keep, and maybe even game, considering the talent advantage that they run. There's another slow, there's another flip, and there's another kill. Masquerade, they try and keep him alive, but they can't. And now it's just an absolute cleanup job. Hanzo comes back in the nick of time. Kappa, kappa, kappa. In order to get the arrow through and save a few of these heroes, but they get the kill against Zarya. The problem is that Arthas dies now too. And that might not be the only one. Hazops is also incredibly low, but he gets away from Zeratul. The problem is that Immortal is still looking at a huge amount of hit points, and they are going for that core, and I don't think they can be stopped. Not with catapults also zooming in on it. This is gonna be game. Chromie is down, she's eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands as the Fanclub locks in a victory on Battlefield of Eternity against Washed Up. GG and well played. Dragonshire, ladies! Game number 3. Off we go. A great series, actually. First one, could have seen the Fanclub win it, but Washed Up turned it around. And then on map number 2, things actually spiraled out of control, especially after Tai was stacked on Vala. But let's just face it, Rag was murdering them in Zeratul. Oh boy, did he a good job there. Especially during, I think it was the second objective, the second Immortal. That one was worth gold. He made one of the big plays after Lauber was pressured heavily. And there's the Zeratul ban. Now that you have 2 Zeratul players on the other side, you definitely want to get rid of that guy. Especially since the map is Dragonshire. Rexa should be banned here. He's still the king of Dragonshire, so I would be slightly surprised if he is let through the draft, since he just dominates the top lane too heavily. But, ooh, with Ana banned... Now, depending on what's banned now, it means that either Deathwing or Rexa make it through the draft. If they don't ban one and the opponent bans the other, then one of the two will make it through. Which would be pretty cool and shake things up, because normally on this map you see an immediate ban on Rexa, and Deathwing is still banned massively in Europe. Outside of games where team thinks, hey, we can meme anyways, and there's the Vala ban. Okay, so one of the 2 heroes definitely is going to make it through. Which one is it, though? Are they going to ban Deathwing, or are they going to ban Rexa now? Again, Rexa dominates the top lane because you have Misha and you have Rexa, and you can control the shrine and the lane experience at the same time. Can be mitigated a bit if you have a lot of heroes that can rotate top and put pressure onto Rexa, but it always makes it difficult, and you are forced to use more resources at the top lane than you want to. And there's the Rexa ban. So they let Deathwing go through. Okay. Deathwing is in. Now, we've seen a couple of games where Deathwing was actually not picked before the second ban phase, or third ban phase came through, and then he got banned out there, so it's not a guaranteed pick, necessarily. And they're actually hesitating a bit on what they're first picking here, too. Dragonshire, there it is, the Deathwing pick after all, and still the chicken skin. He looks like a plucked chicken. Take the black tint, for crying out loud. Looks horrible. The model just looks bad. I don't know why anybody wants to play this. Every single time I see that, I first of all, I want chicken. Some chicken McNuggets or something, but it just looks bad. It looks like a plucked chicken. It's bad. It's just bad. So we have Deathwing in. Rega and Hanzo. Yeah, Rek turned out to be a little William Tell in game number 1. I mean, honestly, the one kill that he got against Jaina, it just looked great. Too many moving parts, and either he got lucky, but he just zoomed in on Jaina at the perfect moment in time and got the kill against Hazops. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, but here come the next 2 picks. We still need Banana Aegis hero. His Ada is banned out. This is like gonna happen throughout the rest of the series, I think. Here we go. Junkrat is in, and we get Malfurion also banned. Okay. This will be fun. We don't get to see Deathwing a lot. In Europe, at least, it is. North America, the heroes played all the time. North America doesn't respect Deathwing. They didn't before the patch when the hero got nerfed again, so they definitely will not respect him now either. They're too busy picking Cho'Gall. Okay. The ban on Mal'Ganis. Nerfed but not forgotten. Still gets his attention. Yeah, now against Lauber, I mean, you can ban ETC. Can ban Johanna. So you can definitely focus on the front line here. Or you just target Tai. Yeah, Tai and Swamp Grotto, 2 of the players that are... Especially Swamp Grotto when it comes to his heroes pool. has a little bit more of a... He doesn't have a small hero pool, but he has definitely a couple of preference picks that he loves to play. He's the Alarak player for them, for example. He plays Junkrat usually for them. He plays Zarya, so those are probably his top 3 picks. But he plays a lot more than that. But those are heroes that you always have to be a bit careful about when they fit on the map. It's one of the reasons why they actually banned out Alarak in one of the previous games. Okay. Tai gets Malthal banned out. It's one of the heroes that he usually plays. For Lauber, that could definitely mean ETC on this map with stage dive. You can make a lot of plays, and Lauber loves his ETC. Oh, Abathar Muradin. Okay, things just got hot. I like it. Abathar and Muradin. So let's see if we get the new dwarf talents in again. And having Abathar in this mix is also making this interesting. Very, very interesting to say the least. Because so far it's mostly Muradin that really poses a threat here. So the question is what Tai picks. If he goes into something like Greymane, that would be great for that, but then they don't really have another real melee. So if they want to go in a side laner, they have to do it right now. And there's a Tyrael counter pick and Kerrigan. Well, not counter pick, but like Tyrael, Kerrigan, Deathwing is a pretty solid setup here for them. And Kerrigan can be hyper aggressive with all those stuns. So what's the last pick? Honestly, for Tai, it's going to become a little bit weird. I was thinking earlier if he wants to go into Genji maybe, and then a Genji Abathar is of course incredibly annoying for backliners. But this is going to make it a little bit harder here. Illidan! Okay, it is on, boys. It is on. Illidan Abathar in game number 3. Unexpected, but hey, I'll take it. Best of 5, we're heading into Dragonshire, the 3rd map, the series is tied, let's head straight in. Laubers Fanclub against Washed Up. Game number 3, let's go. Dragonshire is the map, Banana H on Malfurion, Hazops on Junkrat, Nick on Kerrigan, Dequaza in this game on Deathwing, and we have Masquerade on Tyrael. To the right side of the map, Henning on Rhaegar, Lauber on Muradin, Svampgrota on Abathar, and feeling the hatred of 10,000 Storm League games, Tai on Illidan with Rak for the 2nd time in this series on Hanzo. Let's go. Let's get the show started. So as usual, we have Deathwing going into Dragon Soul as the level 1 talent. The build, again, especially in the first 3 levels or first 3 talents, is still very refined on Europe, on the higher level of play. North America is a little bit all over the place. Horrible skin still didn't change. He looks like a chicken. He's still a chicken, and the only thing that I'm waiting for every single time I see him is like him just squawk. Yeah, so he's going to head to the top lane, going to play the off lane position here. Obviously, we have some assistance for Illidan in particular whenever all of this is coming out. Talking Abathar, Pressurized Glance is in on level 1, and we have the perfect storm from Muradin. So no block talent for him. I mean, doesn't really need him here. So, yeah. Top side, there's a bit of a rotation already happening, and Rag is taking over for now, which allows Illidan to not only go for camps, but also allows him a little bit of freedom right here. Tai very likely together with Rhaegar is going to be the one at the 1 minute mark to go for the camps here. So, yep, that's exactly what we're seeing. Since they have those 2 heroes, there's a slight priority now on the Bruiser camp instead. And, yep, Rag is just riding around here. Svampgrota is taking top lane. That's a little bit of a weird one. So, first of all, we have a chicken on the left side and we have a little worm on the other. Normally, we know how that works out. But, well, that worm is apparently fighting back. So Svampgrota is going to slug it out up at the top, or at least going to try to. Molten Flame is through. Double camp is claimed. But we also have another claim on the camp towards the left side of the map, which means that the blue team is attempting to just counterbalance the top lane. So, yep, in comes the aggression. Dequaza is rushing out. The dragon on the run already. And he gets a bit of a beating there. Doesn't get dropped. But in comes the rest of the team. And the lockdown. Holy shit. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Hanzo gets flanked from Kerrigan. The follow-up with the Malfurion root is there a second later. And that's a perfect lockdown into the damage setup. And that dropped Hanzo quickly. Yeah, Tai is also in trouble. Tai is in a lot of trouble. And Tai might... Yeah, okay, he might die, but he doesn't. Reverberation as the level 4 talent. So Muradin, very likely again with the Bronze Spear talent on... the Bronze Spear Rage on level 13 later. Also have now the Prolific Dispersal on the side of Abathar. I mean, Abathar also got changed a little bit. Especially since Blizzard said, oh, Ty gets the shield. Alright, Quasar doesn't get the kill. Since Blizzard said that especially his Locust stuff was a bit too powerful, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, but memes aside, so for now, we still have all the aggression in the middle as the blue team is trying to make sure that they're getting the first Dragonite here. So, off we go. Yeah, Prolific Dispersal. Oh my god, the timing! I actually thought they would be able to interrupt this, but no. Dragonite is in. Yeah, Prolific Dispersal is actually the talent got changed by Blizzard, so it doesn't really increase the range of the Toxic Nests anymore. By the way, since we have the Dragonite in the mid lane, the real dragon up at the top is still trying to chase down Illidan. Doesn't really increase the range on the nest anymore, but instead you have an increased duration, so that's actually not bad at all. Oh my god, Lauber down. They are actually falling apart a little bit. So with the increased duration on the nest, you have a real nice tool now that you can use to first of all scout out your opponent's movements between lanes. And also, if you follow up with the level 7 talent, you can be really a big nuisance here. You can set up a huge amount of that on the map. It's just incredibly annoying for your opponent. So Abathar with a bit of a utility setup here. But the Locust Strain, the talent got reduced by Blizzard because that's really what made Abathar too strong, right? But Kerrigan gets a double kill in, and guys, we might not even talk about Abathar in any case for a long time here, because currently this is a one-way street game, or one-way street performance. We have Washed Up absolutely crushing their opponent with 4 kills against 0, and with the first Dragonite alone, they dropped several of those walls, which allows them easy access to the forts now. There's the level 7 talent for Abathar also, as already anticipated, with the Prolific Dispersal pickup on level 4, the Vile Nests now, so you can make it really annoying for your opponent to move across the map. Any kind of rotation from one lane to another with all of those toxic nests that can now be set up is going to be a nightmare. Well, not a nightmare, it's a nuisance. It just gets slowed down the entire time, it gives vision to the opponent, potential ganks can be set up. But as long as Abathar doesn't have his level 10, it's difficult to fight for them, unless they get a quick kill here at any point. And that's what Washed Up is currently capitalizing on. They're exploiting it ruthlessly. They're going in and they're just saying, guys, we are not going to allow you to do anything here. We're going to dominate the early game so hard that you're not going to be able to make any plays. And now that they're taking that fort down, they might even be able to pick up another kill. Deathwing is joining the fun. Abathar is sitting at the top lane in an attempt to get something done and get some experience, but Muradin is now dead, and that nearly means level 10 for them. 5 kills against 0. They're wrecking them. They're absolutely destroying them. Middle of the map, Ty is trying to make some plays. Yeah, it's tricky enough for him as is, but the rest of the blue team is still roaming the map and could theoretically even try and push the bot lane a bit harder. By the way, Deathwing with Dragon Soul, Heatwave, and Skyfall. Again, total standard setup for him. At least when we talk about European builds for Deathwing. And in this case, actually, they're going for Twilight Dream. So now we have Twilight Dream over Tranquility. Next. That is actually rough now too, because we have another Dragonite potentially up for grabs, and that comes as level 10 is in. So that should be an easy pick. And nobody is trying to contest that right now. Well, maybe Ruck in the middle is still sitting there, and Muradin is already moving down to the bottom of the map to try and zone Masquerade out. The problem is that if Lauber stays here for too long, he's gonna die. Abathar, Noble Abathar, I don't really care, but Kerrigan is locking the stun in, and goodbye. Yeah, very little that he can do about it. They have at least the top lane pressure thanks to the Bruiser cam that they took, but the blue team has taken theirs too, so they can easily defend with the help of the towers and then push the top lane out even more. By now we have the memes continue. We actually have the Haymaker pick for Muradin. He's really going all out for this now. 6 kills against 0. Camp pressure at the bottom of the map coupled with catapult pressure. So one of the towers might even fall. And as Deathwing is starting to take the top shrine control again, the middle of the map is going to be the contested one. Yeah. Also, Metamorphosis. No Hunt. No YOLOs. No balls. And Nick, nice arrow. That's actually great connect, but the Sanctification is fantastic. And the Ancestral is too late. Down goes Illidan. Rhaegar is dead too. Lauber and Rag are both in trouble, and it's Hanzo that falls. The Dragonite is taken. Holy shit. They are crushing it. They are flattening the Fanclub like it's a pancake. 10 kills against 0. This is double digits now. They move down to the bottom of the map for even an additional kill. They have an extra talent over their opponent. They are just rushing through this map like hot butter through cheese. Abathar is dead too. Deathwing getting the kill, and unfucking-believable. The Chrysalis is in, level 13 talents, and yeah, we're 7 minutes and 45 seconds into the game, but it looks like the first keep is going to be destroyed now. There's no level 30 talent for the opponent. We're looking at 11 kills against 0. Damage output, by the way, 14,000 for Carrigan. Down goes the keep. Muradin trying for the Haymaker approach. Deathwing drops in. And Lauber is already on the run. Hop, little dwarf, hop. Hoppity hop, hop a little bit faster. No more hopping allowed, I think. Besides keeping him in play for a bit longer, but that's a kill. Yep, Lauber is down, the end of the lull. And now with 12 kills, 2-0. They're just going to control the rest of the map. With the camp, by the way, still pushing the top side. Now, Abathar can slap this around a bit if he really wants to. But in this case, no backslapping allowed. I think that would be the big play to make. But now that they take the camp at the bottom of the map and catapults are continuously pushing, that's an easy keep or fort at the top lane, of course, to be taken. There has to be a reaction from the red team. They can't just simply let the bot lane push. So that opens up a lot of time for the team here. A little bit of a standoff between the two. Tying de Quasar. Going a bit of a game of chicken here. But I can tell you which chicken is going to win that. Now that the minion wave pushes in, there's of course no doubt how this is going to go. That fort is toast. Ty gets the help of Abathar for just a second. The arrow and the metamorphosis keep him alive. They were hoping to get the kill there, but Hanzo denied it. So good job by him. But it's not going to change the fate of the fort at the top. This one's dead. This one is absolutely deaded. Yeah, and with Sanctification, that's another big push. Down goes Illidan. Carrigan is going to annihilate Lauber with the help of Tyrael here. And that's 40 kills against 0. I mean, it's rough. Abathar was nearly attacked here too. There's still the Molten Flame, of course, and they have pretty much a 3-level lead at this point. Another shrine is activating. And honestly, right now, if you're washed up, you're just looking at this, you're like, guys, what do we take first? Like, literally, where do we go from here on? Do we go for camps? Do we try and go for core directly? Are we waiting for the objective to come up to claim another Dragonite and then attempt to finish it? Or where do we go from here? So, this is an absolute disaster. The fan club is getting slapped around here, one slap at a time, and I'm not even talking about Abathar. At this point, I think if Abathar himself would go for a little bit more slap action, it wouldn't really be bad. Yeah, they can't contest it. Alright, there it is. Dragonite is claimed, and that should be a go for core, honestly. I mean, normally I would advise against it because we're only 10 minutes in, so it's easy to believe that the Dragonite is going to drop them. But if you think about it, with 10 minutes only, the Dragonite isn't really all that strong yet. But you look at the outcome so far, and it's 14 kills against 0. We're talking Catapults, Dragonite, Siege Camp, Bruiser Camp. I mean, what else do you want? Seriously. The Riptire cleans up the toxic nests. Lauber comes in, trying to distract a few units here at the back, but the core gets attacked as we speak, and the attack is still going strong. In comes Deathwing, and the core is just falling. I don't know what to say. Down goes Malfuri. That's the first kill, actually. So, yeah, Banana is feeding, apparently. Chrysalis delays the kill on Carrigan. They can't get the counter kill, but it doesn't really fucking matter. I mean, just look at it. 14 kills against 2 guys. This is game. This is game. The lead for Washed Up in this best of 5 series against the Fan Club. GG, and well played. Let's go! Sky Temple, the 4th map in the best of 5 series. And let's be honest, Dragonshire... let's forget about map 3. Let's just let that fall under the rug. That was, yeah, pretty much a stomp. If not for Banana at some point deciding that he wants to feed hard. Could have been a perfect game. 0 kills nearly for the Fan Club. They were able to pick 2 up at the end of the game, but boy did they get murdered on that map. Holy hell! There was a demonstration, there was a statement that was made there. Okay, now in Sky Temple, that's a little bit of a different setup here, but the bans are the same. Ana gets banned out. By the way, Deathwing, of course, still with an incredible success rate in Europe. I honestly don't think that the hero lost a single map yet. Now, we have to throw out the caveat that Deathwing was pretty much, since his release, consistently banned in Europe. I think ever since its release, this was only the 4th time that we've seen Deathwing, and twice of those times where Deathwing has been played, it was pretty much a meme game where we had a huge difference in skill between the two teams playing. And it was a 2-0, and it was pretty much just like a little bit of a fun game. And Deathwing made it through the draft because of that. But yeah, there is a reason why he gets consistently banned out. Then again, Sky Temple, do we see the Deathwing ban now? Tracer gets banned, so we want to annihilate a few of the heroes that Nick can shine on. Now the Deathwing question. Do you ban Deathwing, yes or no? That's the question. I mean, usually they do. Yeah, okay, there we go. No chicken this time. Deathwing gets banned. And what's the first pick? Vala. All day, every day. Vala getting picked by Tai. Okay. What is Washed Up going to do this time? Sky Temple is, of course, a map where Globals again reign supreme, especially around objective number 2. You also want to have a couple of heroes that can excel in a boss fight. If you're honest about it, if you at any point on Sky Temple have a scenario where one team starts to walk away with the game a bit and starts winning the objective or the structure battle, and therefore can trade objectives into the opponent while winning the game, every single time that happens, the opponent YOLOs it at some point on the boss and hopes for a clean fight and a victory. I kind of like the setup, by the way, that we're seeing for Washed Up. In theory, we could see the meme dream and them going for the backdoor strategy. It has been kind of funny to see that this is getting revived in 2020. We have Reyna and Tyrael, which literally are two of the heroes that you want to have when you go for Morales cheese. I don't really think that's going to happen here, but then again, I wouldn't really put it past Washed Up to say, boys, let's have some fun and let's cheese the shit out of them. So let's see if Morales gets banned by the fan club, or they're just saying like, yeah, you know, you're not going to do that. ETC gets banned out, and early on, Zeratul was of course banned, who can delay that strategy always. Yeah, they banned it. I mean, if they, again, they pick Jimmy all the time, and if they planned on picking Tyrael anyways, you now made sure that the fan club waste their ban, so to say, on Morales. Even though I still believe if Morales doesn't get banned, they would have at least been tempted to make that play. So far, we've seen the backdoor strategy only lose this year. I think it has one win. When the fan club was 2 ahead at some point, they actually played it once against the team, and yeah, were able to win the game. But outside of that, every single time it was played, it was a loss. So they Quasar on Rexa, and we have Rega, played by Banana Age. Now, Hazu can actually jump on Rexa. He plays the hero a lot for the team. If they want to go into a triple frontline, they can do that, and Nick has so far been the consistent Reyna player for them. So they have some shift potential here. Pandemonium. Chen is in, and so is Mal'Ganis. Okay. And let's go. What do we have on Nick's side? First of all, do they get a third melee hero and then shift Hazu over to Rexa, or is it just going to be a second damage dealer and then they swap the two heroes? Put Nick on Reyna, Hazu on a mage. Both could definitely happen here. I mean, yeah. And there's Kerrigan. Okay, so they keep Nick here. Okay, Kerrigan is in again. Sky Temple is the map. It is game number 4. And ladies and gentlemen, let's find out if Washed Up can secure this with a 3-1 victory, or if the fan club wins the 4th game, ties the series, and forces game number 5. Let's head straight into Sky Temple. Game on, everybody! It is map number 4, and off we go. Hazorbs playing Reyna for the team right now. We currently have Banana H on Rega, Quasar is playing Rexa, Masquerade on Tyrael, and Nick on Kerrigan. And over to the right side of the map, Tai on Vala for the fan club. We have Rak on Li Ming this time. Etherwalk on level 1 for him. Tai, by the way, with an arrow build again. Lauber on Mal'Ganis. We have Svamgrotta on Chen, and Henning on Malfurion. Okay, time to see if we are gonna have a 5th map or not. But still a strong composition, by the way. So also, I talked a little bit about how you want to have... Oh, actually, wait a second. A little bit more aggression in the early game as the fight starts up over at the top. Not a kill, I suppose. Oh, Misha down. Oh, the shield and the heal. Tyrael and Rhaegar keeping the boys in the back alive as we nearly saw the kill come in. Oh, Rack! Holy hell, the guy comes in again with another kill. The sub player, holy shit. He excelled on his Hanzo. He did a fantastic job on the second map as well. And now he gets the kill in against Haseops here. Nicely done. Yeah, that guy is doing an incredible job throughout this entire series, I gotta admit. I was worried. I'm gonna be honest, I was worried when I heard, oh wait, we have to play with a sub, we don't really have one of our players here, there was some miscommunication on our part, and yeah, what do? We need to get a sub player, we need to get it quickly. So then they get Rack in, and I thought, well, they probably don't really have a lot of synergy here, they never really played with a guy on in any of those league games, so that might be a bit of a problem, but absolutely no. So first of all, you can't really doubt the individual skill that he's showcasing here, but he's also pretty much, at least that's what it seems like, he's more or less working seamlessly with the team, which is pretty impressive. So, yep, very nicely done here. But of course, that one kill doesn't make the game right now. We currently have 1 kill against 0, level 3 on both sides, and now it's just the timing aspect of the camp at the top, so they're trying to wait for the blue team to pick their camp first, so that they can pretty much decide where on the map those two camps collide, but Nick is doing the same thing. So it's it's again a game of chicken that we have, this time without Deathwing, but it's definitely there. And who is going to blink first? It's a staring contest, more or less. And it's going to be emphasized a little bit. The stakes are going to be raised by the fact that we're soon going to see those temples spawn. But now nobody is really making a play for it yet. And they're actually letting it slide completely. So it's Rexa that will eventually have to take it. But are they going to make an approach to maybe invade the opponent? That will, of course, be another option here. I'm not so sure about that. There we go! Get wrecked! Oh, Tyrael denies it. Oh, I love this. Lauber so close, but Tyrael is denying it. God, it would have been amazing. It would have been absolutely amazing. There's the spray. It's just like, yeah. Oh, God, that would have been so good. That has actually happened in the past. That has happened. But now the timing is better for the red team. So the red team was pretty much just waiting for the camp to be on lane already. Because now if this gets burnt down, the camps would have collided over here where you can easily defend it. But it's not really working out in terms of the timing. But it has happened in the past, on Infernal Shrines in particular, that the team was taking their Shaman camp, for example, and then was trying to time it around the objective, and the opponent walked in, double-checked if someone was attempting to take the camp, saw that it was already cleaned up, and just simply took it away. So, yeah. This is not as uncommon as you might think. If nobody stands around to protect the camp, you can easily lose one. Because the idea is, of course, always to not just simply take the camp, but time it properly around an objective, and yeah, that can be abused. Calamity is already in, as we have the two shrines, the two temples up, and so far it's an even trade between the two of them. It's always a question of how much can you actually push with your heroes while all of this is going on. Can you maybe soak a few more shots, or not? Yep, last ones get fired, and the fort in the middle has taken damage, but it doesn't go down. Jimmy, of course, after Ace in the hole on level 1, now also heading on to the unstable compound on level 7. A bit of a jump here in the middle. Not really a lot of big fights or kills just yet. Oftentimes that happens on the second objective, when there's a single temple on the map. That's usually where you get a lot of value. I mean, we don't have a single one of those teams running a global, so there's not going to be any kind of experience lead through a top lane, soak, and then a global to the bot lane. But what can definitely happen is that after one team secures themselves the temple at the bottom of the map, they get ahead in structures, and then it can come to those boss aggression or boss fights that I talked about earlier in the draft. If a team is so far ahead that the opponent realizes that if they consistently just trade objectives, they won't be able to win the game, they'll just lose out on temple shots alone or lane pressure, then oftentimes you have the fight over the boss right here. But that's actually something that, I mean, I don't really want to say it favors necessarily washed up, because there's still a top keg play potential on the Panda side, but we have Sanctification, and that is a huge game changer, or at least can be. So there's a couple of tools that can be used from Washed Up as well to secure themselves a decent fight on the boss spot. Now, talking about fights, the bot lane is now slowly but steadily being focused on by both teams. We have, of course, Siege Giants already taken as they're trying to make some plays here. Okay. Level 10 ability is a half level away for both of them. Temple activating in another 26, and that's where the top laners have to decide when they want to make the move down to the bottom of the map. Nearly level 10. Red team is actually a little bit ahead. Nice attempt to lock down Lauber, but that didn't quite work out for them. Vala is already sitting in tight. And here's level 10. Okay, what do we get? Especially on Jimmy, I'm kind of interested, because we've seen a few more picks into Hyperion, and depending on where you want to fight, that could be a priority, but the standard pick is still Reyna's Raiders, and this game is no exception. Okay. Wave of Force is in. Tranquility. No big surprises right now, but we're still waiting for the Panda. That's the big question. Top Kek plays or Triple Panda? What are we going to see here? Is he going to go to wander along a little bit? Yes! There we go. The top Kek from Svamkrota, and he's already keking it up. Trying to kek around a little bit, but that didn't do anything. I mean, that didn't do jack shit. And all of a sudden, the isolation on Lauber could become a huge problem, and he gets dropped. I mean, easily. The Panda is still trying to take Hazo-Ops down, but good luck with that, especially since he's still assisted by Rega. Yeah, nearly the kill. Sanctification. Ancestral also made it through here. A lot of ults being used for this one, and they couldn't get the kill in. But it doesn't really matter, because it's a 5 versus 4 regardless, and that is going to result in... Oh, it's done! It's set up! And the kill against Li Ming. Yeah, that was a nasty one. Nick, again, with just absolute perfect combos here, locking them down and taking them apart. Now they can start to soak the remaining shots on the temple, and that is going to result easily in the bot found and destroyed. I don't think that the fort is necessarily going to get dropped unless they move in together with it. But we have, in the middle of the map, a push happening already. And yeah, those are the last few final shots here. So they are ahead in structures now. They haven't taken a fort down yet. But they are in a position where they can take those structures down one after another. And now they are invading massively at the bottom of the map. Yeah, Rexa gets pushed around a little bit. But I think the fort is still going to fall if they focus on it now that the minion wave pushes in. So there's a perfect opportunity to take one of the major structures down here. Or at least drop it a little bit more, which is what they do. And this brings us back to my initial statement. If you fall behind in structures, you have to at some point consider to take a risk and go for boss. And that might be something that they have to do here. Because they are starting to bleed. It's starting to hurt. Quite a bit. Rexa up at the top, and of course, now that he shows... I mean, we're not going to see the top boss play now, just don't misunderstand. But later on in the game, once the forts are down, this is definitely a reality that could come true. So now that Mal'Ganis is dead again, we have 3 kills against 1 and even more momentum for the team in blue, which allows them to push through the middle, low for another kill. Yeah, Panda not actually connected with the second stun, so Nick didn't really properly lock that combo in the way that he wanted to. Target got pushed out slightly, so they couldn't follow up with another kill here. Didn't even go for the fort, I might add. Down to the bottom of the map, the Siege Giants are still being eliminated here. But yeah, top side. That's still where we have a bit more Misha time. And the Quasars, with the help of Hazo-Ops, now also starting to focus straight up onto those camps again. Camp control is worth a lot on the map, as it is on pretty much any map, of course. But with the timings and the pressure against the structures, since the objective attacks structures directly, this is always a big deal here. Yeah, misses it out. But a nice move, actually. Still jumping in, trying to close the distance here. We now have also level 13 talents ready for the red team, so it's at least an even talent fight. Nearly a stacked quest on Vala's level 4. 18 out of 20. And Kerrigan is already starting to escort this in a little bit. They, of course, hope to at least take that gate down and also drop the tower. If they can do that, that would be nice. Double temple. Bottom one is completely ignored. Lauber is getting murdered here. I mean, seriously, they are just shitting on him. Every chance they get. 3 kills against 0. Sorry, not against 0, but like, yeah, 3 kills against the hero. And they're just murdering that front line. The only kill that the red team was able to lock in was the first blood that Li Ming got with the combo against Hazo-Ops. It's the only one that they got so far. And look at the position here. Misha is soaking, Rexa stays safe, makes sure that they get a couple of additional shots in. Quest is completed, by the way, now, but they soaked nearly everything. And that dropped the fort in the mid lane. The fort up at the top is nearly down, and now it's going to be destroyed by the final shots because the one at the bottom has already fallen. So in the entire outer ring of defense has been eliminated by Washed Up. They killed every single fort. And that is exactly what I spoke about earlier. And now you have to worry about bosses as well. Oh, that was a good ancestral attempt, but yeah, nice. And they are looking for another kill. Hazu, is he going to get out of this one? No, of course not. Okay, back to business. Now they can go for boss. The fan club, they kill 2 heroes and they go for boss right away. So they come back into this game. I like it. Washed Up has taken a super significant lead in the early stages. But that was a really, really nice move by the fan club to make slowly move back into the game. And it's an early boss, 11 minutes in, but this one is still going to hurt, and it will eventually take down that fort, of course, with the rest of the team. And Masquerade needs to jump out, and he needs to jump out quickly. And yep, he's that too. They're starting to throw this a little bit. They're getting a little bit greedy at the wrong moments. There's, of course, a massive commitment at the bottom of the map, which allows for Quasar to push at the top. So that is the counterplay here. But the red team is going down to the bottom of the map in order to push even more. And Kerrigan has started to push the mid lane now as well. So there's even more that's going to fall. That fort, for example, is not going to make... sorry, that tower's not going to make it. And the second one is likely going to fall too. But it's a 5 versus 5 at the bottom of the map now, because Washed Up just says, hey, we have level 16. Let's not lose our keep here. And Lauber is dead again. Lauber is just getting crushed. Keck plays once more. Feign death. Perfect execution. Perfect timing for it. Mirror Ball, Manticore, I might add. And they save the keep. Keep is saved. Hasn't even gotten a scratch here. But how much can they actually get with this now? They take the first Siege Giant camp. They will take the second one. Yeah, nice try by the fan club to try and get that as they're passing by. But of course, there's absolutely no way for them to really claim it. Washed Up is just saying, you gotta be kidding me. We have a hero advantage right now. There's no way we're gonna give you that camp. Rexa is also done with his level 4 quest, which means extra armor for Misha and himself. So that's already a big tool. Quest talents are completed all across the board now. Yeah, the push down at the bottom of the map with a double Siege Giant camp. Next temple is going to be a solo one in the middle of the map. There's no talent advantage that either one of these teams is going to have. But again, every structure you drop is a big win. And they drop one tower, they drop the second tower, they save the Raider. Or do they? Yep, they do. Yeah, even Tyrael is jumping in. Has the mobility, thanks to his talent picks here, to jump in and out. Yeah, Sword of Justice and Burning Halo. No hold your ground. Isn't really played all that much anymore. And the temple is activating in 30. They have the lead in experience though, which means that they have a stats advantage because of the extra level. They also take the camp now. And over to the right side with 10 seconds over here, I don't think they can take it. They don't have enough time. If they want to make the play for the temple itself, then there's just no way. Yeah, and now here comes the... this is the important one, or one of the most important ones, because this temple is going to attack the middle of the map. And there's only the gate left, so this could take down the keep. Depends all on the fight and how it goes now. Yeah, first few shots are actually fired by the red team, and that's already a bit of a win. They need to eliminate as many of those as they can if they want to hold on to their inner ring of defense here. Kerrigan at the side. Yeah, Rack is trying to zone her out as much as he can, but the blue team has now a pretty nice position here. Yeah, they can move in from any angle, and here comes the ult on Rexa, and they go for Li Ming, and she's getting murdered. Nice move by Kerrigan, coming in from the side, completely flanking her, no chance, and now they go for the Panda, and he just disappears. I mean, seriously, he just disappears. 1 second he's there, the next second he's just gone. And the rest of the team is also split, and they don't really know how to get out of this one. Top lane is going to get pushed with the camp. Guys, they can go for 2 keeps here. They can easily go for 2 keeps with this. They're already going into the middle. Can they go for core? They have Sanctification still up. Sanctification is still up. The keep is going to fall without the help of the temple. That's a given. But with Sanctification, they can actually go for core. They want to end it right now, and I don't think they can be stopped. No, Tai is trying strafe, and of course, Li Ming is back in a moment. But Sanctification, there's the first YOLO. Ancestor is in. Sanctification got actually interrupted, but he's going to have it back in just a second. And then he can use it easily here. The bear goes down. Sanct is about to get used again. The core is down even without it being dropped. This is game. This is series. Washed Up with a best of 5 victory against the Fanclub. GG and well played.